This is a side before it's bent. This is Brazilian rosewood and it's 2.2mm thick. It's quite flexible. It's been cut to a very precise shape. This is the edge that's going to be glued against the front of the guitar. This is the edge that's going to be glued against the back. If I do that, you can see it's a bit of a weird shape, and I can see from the shape of this is the cutaway side. How we bend these is that they will be sandwiched between two pieces of steel with a heat blanket in the middle, and we spray water on both sides of the wood first. Once enough heat is applied, that forms steam and it enables us to bend the side around a mould. Once the sides have been bent, they come out of the bending jig and go into one of these formers. There is obviously one of these formers for each shape of instrument that we build. As you can see, the sides have been fully braced. They've got vertical support struts around here. The curve cut lining is on. This increases the gluing area for the top. The back is already on. It just needs a top. Once the body is fully fabricated and it's fully sanded, the first thing we'll do is we'll glue in an end strip. This is a decorative strip of wood down here. This will be sanded back, and then the binding is glued on. Before we glue in the binding, we actually have to route a binding channel, and this is a two-step channel that runs right around the edge of the instrument. Binding is put on a guitar mainly to protect the corners from any damage, but also it can look really nice as well, and we use almost entirely wooden binding on all our guitars. As you can see, these bits of purfling have been bent, and it's waiting to have the last piece of binding glued on now. So I'm going to talk about necks and the way that they're built. And here is a neck that's just been started really. It's had some very basic machining done to it. It's made from one piece of South American mahogany, which is quarter sawn. It's got an ear glued onto either side of the headstock to bring it out to the width that we need. It has the truss rod already installed, and this is a Gibson style one-way truss rod that works by the rod being nearer the back side of the neck than to the front. So it's the right side of the neutral axis. When it's tightened up, the neck bends backwards. It's also got a fillet of extra mahogany over the top of it, and this saves it from putting direct pressure onto the fretboard, which could cause damage to that. You can also see on this neck, already machined, is our mortise and tenon joint, and you can see the two brass inserts that hold the bolts that hold the neck on. So here we have another neck. This one has been machined at the back. It's had the profile machined into it. It hasn't had the truss rod inlaid yet. You can see the truss rod channel down the centre. So it's waiting for the truss rod to be installed, and it needs to be finely profiled. The headstock shape needs to be finely profiled, and the head plate and the fretboard need to be glued on after that. One more neck here. This has had the head plate glued on, and you can see the inlay cavity for the mother of pearl logo that's got to go in yet, and you can see a channel routed into the wood 1.5mm from the edge, and this is where the fine line coach lining will be inlaid. Now this is a fretboard. It's made of Indian ebony, and it's been machined using a CNC router, and this is quite crucial because there are some extremely high tolerances here. the fret slots have to be spaced exactly right. The width of those slots and also the depth has to be exactly right. And also we put these maple leaf inlays in, and they're very fine, and the fit has to be perfect. And this is something that's simply better done on a CNC machine. But I can show you one going in. Okay, now these maple leaf inlays, they're made from green mother of pearl, white abalone, and they fit together in a way that gives a three-dimensional effect. Alright, so once all the inlays are in the neck and the coach lining is inlaid, we can linish the fretboard, and then we can glue it to the neck like this. And here we have a finished neck. This, as you can probably see, doesn't have maple leaves in. This is our other inlay. It's a far more traditional look, more understated. And this is a neck that's been lacquered. You can see that the face of the headstock is gloss. The heel cap, which on this model is Cocobolo, is also gloss, but we've left the back of the neck with a satin finish, and this gives it a much more friendly feel when playing.